removal of an elected official if they are arrested and detained for 30 days under serious criminal charges has now been referred to a joint committee of the parliament, which will now submit its report when the next session of parliament happens, that is by the end of the year, the winter session of parliament. But the government versus the opposition showdown over these bills, however, continues. Now, what is being said, according to top ministers of the Modi government, they seem to have mounted a strong defense of the legislation, with the Union Law Minister citing the arrest of Arvind Kejriwal as an example, who refused to quit as Delhi Chief Minister while he was in prison in the ongoing Ilika Gate investigation. Even to that, Parliamentary Affairs Minister Kiran Rijiju shared that how the Prime Minister himself refused any special exemption and rejected the recommendation to keep the post of the Prime Minister out of the ambit of the proposed legislation. So when we speak of the legislation, in fact, when it comes to the introduction itself in the House that was done by the Union Minister Amit Shah, there was a lot of dramatic scenes that were witnessed in Parliament. However, when we look at the top posts, neither the PM, the CM, Union Ministers are spared or exempted.
आप जमानत के लिए जाएंगे, कोर्ट कहते हैं जमानत लाएंगे, केस नहीं है क्योंकि आप आरोपी हो और आरोप सिद्ध हो रहा है। ऐसे केस में उस आदमी को पद पे रहना चाहिए क्या? हमने देखा है ना साहब, दिल्ली के मुख्यमंत्री जेल गए फिर भी पद नहीं छोड़ा। ये तो एक प्रोग्रेसिव लॉ है, इसका समर्थन करना चाहिए।
प्रधानमंत्री जी ने सारा कैबिनेट को बताया कि देखिए रिकमेंडेशन में तो प्राइम मिनिस्टर को इस प्रोविजन से बाहर रखा जाए, लेकिन प्रधानमंत्री नहीं माने। मोदी जी कहा कि नहीं, प्रधानमंत्री को एक्सेप्शन क्यों मिलना चाहिए? प्रधानमंत्री भी एक नागरिक है, वो कोई अलग से उसको प्रोटेक्शन या उसको स्तर नहीं होना चाहिए, जैसे बाकी है वैसे प्रधानमंत्री।
Well, Tetri, good morning. The government is of the opinion that before even looking into the details, because already when it comes to the committees that have been set up, there are already parliamentarians who say that their party will not recommend any of the leaders to be a part of the committee to discuss and debate over the bill. However, when it comes to such allegations that have been leveled by the opposition, they say that it goes against the very ethos of the Constitution.
Well, absolutely. You see, at the time when the opposition leaders are arrested in any kind of case, then the opposition says that the agencies are working at the behest of the central government, that is the BJP. And now by introducing such laws, it will be giving more power to the government to arrest the leaders and destabilize the government, especially where the opposition is in power. And in fact, when the bill was introduced, we saw that there was a massive uproar in the parliament. There were protests, all over in the parliament. Then the papers were also thrown at the Union Home Minister Amit Shah while he was introducing the bills. However, he also mentioned that it is just being introduced and now the bill is being referred to the Joint Parliamentary Committee where detailed discussions will be held on this bill, and then it will be and then again the discussion will be held during the winter session, that is by the end of this year. But the opposition says that this bill that's being introduced, it is nothing but it is a draconian law because it will give more power to the government to in fact arrest the leaders. And in fact they have also cited that how after the leaders being arrested, the conviction rate in these all these cases is very much low, and that is why bringing such kind of bills is not something which is appreciated in Indian democracy. And in fact there were many opposition leaders as well who also in fact stated that the time span which is given of 30 days, this time span is very much short. The time span at least should have been increased. But we saw that how the Parliamentary Affairs Minister Kiran Rijiju also mentioned about
the opposition MPs are of the opinion that sacking anyone on mere allegations, even before they are held guilty, would be against the Constitution, and it would give unbridled powers to the central government and the agencies. Tejashree continues to be with us, but we talk about how the BJP has been hitting back at the Vipaksh. Citing the recent ADR report, the BJP says that the Telangana Chief Minister Revanth Reddy, Tamil Nadu Chief Minister M.K. Stalin are among the topmost chief ministers who have had the most number of criminal cases against them. The party stated that this explains why the opposition bloc is opposing the proposed amendment.
ये तानाशाही एक्ट है, नादिरशाही एक्ट है और इसका भरपूर विरोध होना चाहिए। इनका इंटेंशन ही वेरीफाइड है, विद्वेष की भावनाओं से प्रतिपक्ष के लोगों को परेशान करने के लिए, उनको उत्पीड़ित करने के लिए एक्ट लाया गया है।
जिस परिप्रेक्ष्य में इसको देखना है वो बात बड़ी स्पष्ट आई है कि क्या ये विपक्ष की जहां जहां सरकारें हैं उन पर दबाव डालने का या उनको उखाड़ फेंकने का ये एक नया प्रयास है और एक नई व्यवस्था बनाई जा रही है। इस पर एक प्रश्न चिन्ह लगा है। भारत के फेडरलिज्म का एक बहुत बड़ा सवाल आता है जिससे इनका बहुत अच्छा संपर्क और संबंध नहीं रहा है। तो ये सारे प्रश्न आते हैं, इसका जवाब वो दें तो बेहतर है।
Now, with reactions that has been coming in when it comes to the BJP has hit back at the opposition, citing that these steps are necessary and progressive in lieu of weeding out corruption when it comes to political parties.
राहुल जी और तेजस्वी जी आकर चोर चोर का शोर मचा रहे हैं। अब हाल ही में उनमें से कौन अपराधों का सरताज बना हुआ है, इसके कुछ तथ्य सामने आए। एडीआर ने अपनी रिपोर्ट में यह बताया है कि देश में जिन मुख्यमंत्रियों पर सर्वाधिक मुकदमे दर्ज हैं उसमें नंबर 1 पर हैं तेलंगाना के श्री रेवंत रेड्डी, संभवतः उन पे 89 दर्ज है। दूसरे नंबर पे हैं तमिलनाडु के श्री एम के स्टालिन, उन पे संभवतः 47 दर्ज है।